What's up, everybody? Well, I got another gameplay video for you guys today, and today we're going to have a look at Hogwarts Legacy again, but now we're going to be in Homestead, which is a little city or whatever, because that seems to be one of the hardest places to run, if not the hardest place to run the game so far. Now, obviously when people get farther in the game and beat the game and all that stuff, maybe they'll discover a harder place to run that I can go test out, but for now, this seems to be one of the hardest, followed by the forest, which I'll still do too, but if it can do it here, it should be able to handle the forest too, just saying. But we'll still do it because I said we would. And besides, it's fun doing videos on this game. Anyway though, so let's go over these settings real quick again here. This is a 5800X3D. We got a RTX 3090 Founders. We got a AsRock X570 Taichi for a motherboard. We got 32 gigs of 3600 megahertz RAM at CL14, and it's also dual rank. And then the CPU is cooled by an AIO Basic 360mm, and we got a 1000 watt Corsair 1000 RM PSU gold rated powering the whole thing. And then an Alienware ultra wide monitor 3440 by 1440, 120 hertz, G-Sync, all that good stuff. And that's about it. So why don't we go hop into the game now and see how it does with my settings, and if it can't handle my settings, well then we'll drop it down until it can.
Well, alright, secondary computer time. Let's look through these settings real fast before we jump on in. And just like with the other computers, we're just going to do the recommended for now and see what it can do. I just didn't turn ray tracing on. Obviously, I can come back and turn ray tracing on if you guys are curious how it runs. But for now, let's just see if it can maintain at least 60, and if it can, we'll just keep these settings and move on to camera. Well, now here we go. Let's run around Hogsmeade. And it's raining now, so that's interesting. Well, so far we're staying above 60, just barely. And I think it raining is probably a little tougher to run when it's not, I would think. It's more particles and whatnot. But even on this computer, as you can tell, going through town, we still have a little CPU bottleneck, even at ultra wide. So I think no matter what, probably no matter what resolution, there's going to be a CPU bottleneck running through town. I bet even my 13900KF will a little bit. And that right now is one of the most powerful gaming CPUs out, along with the AMD 7000 series. And then once the 3D chips of that come out, I'm almost positive that's going to take the gaming crown. I mean, even my 5800X3D can compete in certain games from what I've seen in benchmarks with this thing. And obviously in certain games and other games, this thing completely curb stops it. But that's why you have to look at what games you want to play and not just throw together something and be like, all right, nope, I put this together. It's the best at everything no matter what. That generally doesn't happen with computers. There will always be certain games. Like, there's even certain games where the AMD cheaper GPUs get better frame rates than even my 4090, like Modern Warfare. A 7900 XTX gets higher FPS than my 4090 does. I think it's just like that and like 2 other games, but still, if those are the 3 games you want to play, you don't need to waste money on a frickin' 4090, now do ya? But me, I'm under the basic concept of, if you're gonna spend $1,000 already on a GPU, why wouldn't you just get the best GPU at that point? Spend the extra $600 and just have the best. It's pretty much the best everything. It might lose here and there, just like I said earlier. There's a couple, just like last gen, there's a couple AMD GPUs that would sometimes beat the 3090.
It seems all roads lead to Hogsmeade.
It's just how it is. At certain games, that's just how gaming is. But for the most of the time, the 3090 was ahead. And then the 3090 came out, and that was just ahead basically all the time. I think there was like 2 games where the 6950 XT was ahead. But I just feel like if you're already spending that much money, it seems kind of just, might as well just spend the extra 600 and get a frickin' 4090. Now, where I will say save some money is I don't really see the point in getting the super fucking expensive 4090s. They don't really seem to overclock that much better than mine. Little couple more extra, like 50 extra megahertz, but what is that? A couple more FPS? I mean, that's cool if that's what you want, just to say, hey, yeah, I do have the fastest. Because even if it's 0.5 of an FPS faster than my computer, they can say, I have a faster computer than you, and if that's all you care about, cool. I have never cared about just going around and bragging, saying, oh, I have the fastest computer, haha. No, that's stupid. I just have it because I have an expensive fucking monitor that I need to drive, so I need an expensive GPU that can handle the 4K. And the 4090 is one of the first ones that can. Even this 3090 kind of started falling on its face once I got that TV.
I was like, oh man, I have to really up the DLSS or lower the quality settings. And at 4K, you're not supposed to really lower quality settings too much. Lowering stuff down to high, sure, but you don't really want to be dropping down to low and medium. Otherwise, you're really going to notice it's on low and medium. I can promise you that. But most people don't care about 4K anyway. Most people would be way happier with high refresh rate 1440 and 1080. And me, I'm lucky. I get to have all of them. I mean, I have a bunch of different options depending on what I want to do, but not everybody can do that. Or even if they can, they choose not to, because they'd rather spend their money on other shit. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. Everybody should spend their money on what they like and what they want, and just be happy. And not let everybody else ruin their fun. I've noticed a lot, especially on social media, like nobody can get anything cool or have anything cool without at least a couple people coming in there and being assholes about it. But whatever, there's assholes everywhere. I'm just happy everybody who's subscribed to me is not.
Alright, now for some camera gameplay here. So let's just run around just a little bit here. And now we're not recording with Shadowplay. I don't know how much that really affects FPS, but it's bound to do it a teensy tiny bit, so it's always good to get a little camera gameplay in. And now the rain's gone away. Now it's all sunny and nice here. But yeah, it's doing a pretty good job. I saw it drop down to like 58 when I turned around one time really fast, but beyond that, we've stayed above 60. Now, on the way back to the starting point, I think I saw it drop down to the 63, but that's alright. Oh wow, look at all the kitties. 3 of them.
Hogsmeade, here I come.
We're already in Hogsmeade. Alright, now that's one kind of detail they could have added in. The bottom of his cape was all in the water, so they should have made it all waterlogged. No big deal, though. I just noticed, like, games like Assassin's Creed do that. And everyone loves to insult those, because, I mean, really, they're just kind of the same game over and over and over again, so I can't blame people for hating on them, but I still enjoy playing them. Not as much as something like Elden Ring. That game so far has been one of the funnest games I've played in a really long time. So far, the games I beat this year are the 2 top dogs are Elden Ring and Hi-Fi Rush. But now we'll see how this one is. I've got this and Dead Space Remake that I'm playing right now, and I'm having a lot of fun with the Dead Space Remake. So, all 4 of those might be contenders. And I'm enjoying Persona, but it's not like that game just came out, Persona 5 Royale. I mean, that game kind of did, but just on Game Pass and stuff. It's been on other stuff for quite some time as just Persona 5, so it's not like it's a brand new game, but I still really enjoy it. I've been having a lot of fun with that. I've been mostly playing that one on my Steam Deck at night before bed. And I think I'm on the last palace, but I'm not 100% sure. The game might throw me for a loop. Yeah.
They were out the other day.
This game definitely eats up the RAM too. A lot of times we're at over 20 gigs of RAM. It takes up an alright amount of the GPU memory. We're at 10 to 11 a lot of the times. But not as much as I would expect for a game like this. And of course it could just be allocating that. It might not actually be using it all, you know? And there's no Chrome in the background or nothing. It's just Steam in this game. That's it. Or at least nothing that's going to take up that much memory. Obviously, I got stuff like IQ in the background and stuff for my keyboard. I don't shut that stuff off because no one shuts that off before they start playing games. So I'm not going to create a false bullshit kind of scenario where we turn everything down just to make it get as much FPS as possible. I like keeping it the way a normal person would lose and don't shut stuff down.
Sometimes it seems all right.
The only thing I'll shut down is Chrome, because sometimes I've got so many tabs up and Chrome uses 10 to 15% of the CPU just sitting there on a bunch of web pages, so that's the one thing I will shut off. But a lot of people don't even do that. Hell, a lot of the time on my main computer when I'm playing games, I leave Chrome up in the background. That's got like 40, 50 tabs open, and it doesn't really seem to affect my games too much. But not when I make videos like this, though. I still shut Chrome off even on that. Anyway, though, enough rambling. Let's go wrap this video on up, shall we? Well, alright guys, that is a wrap for Hogwarts Legacy on the secondary computer with Hogsmeade, and it did pretty damn good. We dropped down to 59 one time when I spun around really quick next to that farm, but besides that, we were in the 60s the whole time, even there. No ray tracing or nothing though, but guaranteed if we had that on, we would not be getting 60 no more. That'd probably be a 40 FPS experience. And since that plays a CPU bottleneck, turning on DLSS isn't really gonna help you much. So, in times like that, that's why I just don't deal with it. The ray tracing in this game is not impressive enough to go under 60 FPS for. So far, no game has been. That's why in games like Cyberpunk, where I like ray tracing, I'll use DLSS. I don't like using it, but I'll do it if I have to. Anyway, that's all I got for this particular video. So I'm gonna go wrap this up and then go do the main video, or the main computer, main computer. And then we can wrap this Hogwarts Legacy up for now until I get to the foresty areas. And then, like I promised, we'll do those too. But I feel like if it can do the town, it should be able to do fine everywhere. Unless people have gotten way farther now and beaten the game and know even harder spot to run than this. Obviously, let me know, because I'd like to go do it. So, anyway, that's all I got for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, because I sure as hell enjoyed making it for you. And until the next video, peace out, guys.